And we are live. What is up, everybody? Aaron the dog back with just my 2 cents for now. We'll see if we have any others joining us, but we are here for the UFC Singapore card. Also, gonna put in at least I'll give some last second PFL 9 picks for the playoffs that start in 90 minutes. They're on a Wednesday, so classic PFL. Always thinking ahead of the game here. Wednesday night fights is the future. But the future of YouTube, now that there's a very significant absence, if you know what that is just my 2 cents going to fill that void? How you doing, 2 cents?
I'll do something, I guess. I don't know, man. I'm here. I'm hanging in there. I'm very happy to be here, actually. They say every cloud has a silver lining, and this is mine this week. So shout out to you and everyone in the chat. Hope you're doing well. And I don't even know what this card is, but I've made my picks and stuff, so I'm here to talk about it.
I'm literally drinking during this card because this is just always – and Nora Ashe, always here. Zhang Li appreciates the breakdowns always. We appreciate you, Zhang Li. The Zhang Li this week, I'm just going to tease it out because I did work it out before the show. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Plus 2,500. Plus 2,500, and it has Rinya Nakamura in it.
With Rinya Nakamura in it.
With Rinya Nakamura in it.
Great day.
These past two events, seriously, if you have not been tuning in, you've been losing money. These last two events, we have been pretty much hitting it as well as you possibly can. I think we have had like 3 to 4 wrong picks total, like the last few events. So it's been good. It's nice when the UFC's on easy mode. I believe we were both on O'Malley last week, correct?
Yes, I would actually. O'Malley is the only reason I didn't lose everything. But yes, I did hit. He was like the only bet that I hit.
Yeah, no, O'Malley ironically saved my night as well. Dream of Zhang Li. Not quite Terry Funk behind me. That's the dude, but R.I.P. Terry Funk. This card. And O'Malley, he really was an easy pick looking back. It felt too easy at plus like 210 or 220, like we said last week, but sometimes it works out that way. Stubborn Mick, I see, is in here. Shout out to Mick. Montague is plus money with PFL, definitely one of my picks. And even though that others are on it who are not, and then free money, shout out to his goal pick earlier, that anytime goals. I don't watch any soccer. So when he tells me to bet soccer, I bet it. But yeah, UFC Singapore, it's a card. It's got 2 -800s on it. It's got some close heavyweight, like trash fights. I see you there, Jewish Bettor. I'll add you in 1 second. And then we also do have our third compatriot here because he's just showing up here. But Jewish Bettor also making his return to the show. What up, my friend?
Roasted right now, my friend. Let's get this money.
I can see that. All good. The last couple of weeks, we were just recapping the last couple of weeks. It's been a good couple of weeks. Were you on the O'Malley hit last week?
Yes, sir. Let's get this money, baby.
Good. I mean, that we like to get free money here on the show. We'll try to find it with this one. Let's go ahead and hop in. Might have a particular guest who wants to pop in at one point here, but we'll see if he makes it in or not. But otherwise, we got 13 fights on the card here, starting with a fight. Fight I don't really have a huge opinion on one way or another. If I'm being honest, Jarno Aarons has some promise, has some good credentials with the judo, has kind of a kick first, punch later game. And then Sungwoo Choi just kind of starts throwing with his eyes closed, has no defense, but has great offense. Jarno's not really shown me anything yet. That debut didn't show me a whole lot. Sungwoo Choi, I think, most likely gets this done. Probably gets it done in the distance, but not one I am taking much of an interest in one way or another. I could easily see it going to the distance. Again, Jarno has a lot of promise, but I don't know what that translates to here. And I'll go with Sungwoo Choi, not putting $1 on it. 2 cents, what's your thoughts on this featherweight opener?
I kind of feel similarly. I have no action on this fight. I am going with Sung Woo Choi just because I think, like you mentioned it, his offensively, his boxing is a little bit better. Like he puts his jab and then his cross behind it and then the left hook behind it. I don't like his chin, so I'm not gonna like lay any kind of chalk on Choi, but I think, and like it is an Asian card, so like if it goes to the cards, like I could see them giving it to Choi even if it's close. But I'm gonna agree with you. I think he finishes inside the distance. I think he knocks Jarno out.
All right, Bettor of the Jewish variety. Are you a fan of Jarno?
No, I think this is going to be mainly a striking matchup. But here's the thing: Sung Woo Choi did get knocked out in his last fight, and I believe he could possibly look to grapple in the spot versus Aarons and mix in the grappling. And if he does so, I think that would be a good look because this is MMA. And, if he just goes out there and goes to swing 50-50 with him, I think this is going to be a pick'em type fight because we've seen Sung Woo Choi just go balls to the wall, get knocked out. And especially in his last fight, they were just trading left hooks back and forth until one of them went down. And I just can't trust him like that because I think Jarno Aarons could technically put him out, especially since we did just see him knocked out in his last fight. So, I don't, like you guys said, I don't have a strong lean in this fight, but I will have to lean Sung Woo Choi.
Do you see it going to distance then if Sung Woo's going to be grappling here?
It all depends. I mean, if Aarons knocks him out.
Aarons has some judo. Aarons has judo, so that's why I thought if anybody's going to the ground, it's Aarons.
Yeah, but we've seen Sung Woo Choi mix in the grappling. I think he could get it done here and use that strategy. But I have no strong lean in this fight. I'll have to go with Sung Woo Choi.
Yeah, he's minus 165 right now. The over 2.5 at minus 105 shifted from an even to minus 105 as Jewish Bettor was talking. So I thought he talked some people into thinking the over there if the grappling's a bigger part of it. But yeah, not one I'm too interested in either. But we're all on Sung Woo, no action. This has been a fight that's been talked about since the line came out. Money continues to come in on Ling Na. So, I mean, we'll see. Again, this is another fight where you have a minus 520 JJ Aldrich. This is just not a fight I'm really that interested in. I didn't waste too much time on at all. I'm not a fan of either fighter. I picked Ling Na against Ariane Carnelossi when I went to Jacksonville, and she had a good 30 seconds there. And then took a whole lot of punishment, and she's been out a lot. Still very green, but again, not really spending a lot of time in the octagon either. So I don't really know what you're getting fight to fight. And JJ Aldrich, you kind of know what you're getting, steady as she goes, and should get this done, but I don't really care about this one. Bettor.
No, I don't care about this one either from a betting standpoint or just a fight. Actually, I would watch this as a fight because Na Liang is fun to watch low key because she's really just one of those round one submission or bust people. I don't like betting those type of people, so I'm going with JJ Aldrich, but obviously can't bet her at a minus 550. So I see why people are taking the value side on Na Liang. But I think if you do that, just take like round one submission. That's her path, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. 2 cents. You got any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think you boys just about covered it. That number next to JJ Aldrich's name doesn't seem real. Like, it just seems kind of crazy. But, like, she's probably going to win. Like, she's probably going to box Na Liang's face up. I think the sweet science gets it done again here. But, that, like, minus 600 for JJ Aldrich, like, you are just asking for it, man. Like, you're asking for something crazy to happen. So I'm not touching that fucking thing. But yeah, give me Aldrich decision probably. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just like I forgot about the Juarez Gomez fight, to be honest, where she also got knocked out pretty hard there. Now she's moving up to 125. It should help her take more shots. And JJ Aldrich doesn't have knockout power, so there's that. But yeah, did you have something to say better or no?
No, I was just remembering that last Na Liang fight versus Gomez Juarez, and everybody was on Na Liang, and I took Gomez Juarez, and
Yep. And then everybody was on Gomez Suarez the next time out.
Yep.
Suarez because of that.
Yep, guilty.
Yeah, but all three. And so
Na Liang wins.
Exactly. So first two fights, rough. This fight, one of the Twitter fights of the week, I think. Yusaku Kinoshita, Japanese Connor, Billy Goff here making his UFC debut. These are two guys with a lot of offense, not a lot of defense. So honestly, I was all over Fugit in Kinoshita's debut there. I mean, Fugit pretty much couldn't have fought much more to like his premium or his apex, I should, say. So, but I don't really completely count out Kinoshita like a lot of people from that debut. I think Fugit's a really good guy, honestly, even though his last fight obviously didn't go very well. But I think he's a good guy. He tests a lot of guys, and like for a debuting guy, it's a very tricky fight to take. And I mean, this is the level he should be fighting. Like, honestly, these guys could be on the Contender Series again, working to get a contract against each other. So I think these guys are of a similar level. I'll be curious who hurts who first and how they react once they hurt the other one. Because I feel like with Goff, I would like to see him go into the wrestling immediately. Not immediately, but like after hurting him, like work in the wrestling, because Kinoshita's got that quit in him. And I do think that if Goff hurts him, follows up, Goff's had some good ground and pound. The Gary Boletto fight, I do rate Boletto pretty decently as well. I get it, but I just think that Goff doesn't quite have as much of the technical aspect that Kinoshita does, but I do think he's able to, jump on, kind of the finishing aspects more so here and do the smart things, which is work in the wrestling once he hurts him, not work in the wrestling before hurting him. So I bet Goff a couple days ago at plus 120. I just liked him in this matchup. I am kind of cognizant of the fact that he's going over there for the first time. He's traveling overseas for a fight. So that definitely is a factor. It's his debut. Both guys are really young, but I think Goff takes this. I think it's a finish on either side as well. I think this is definitely a violence on type of fight. So I got Goff in this spot here. I got him with the knockout. Bettor, what is your thoughts on this fight?
Isn't it his turn?
Is it? My bad. Yeah, sure. Just my 2 cents. My bad. I mix it up too. 2 cents.
It won't matter here. That I have no real strong read. My gut instinct, I'm gonna just say Kinoshita. I feel like this is like deja vu again. Like I think he has a little bit of the cleaner striking. Like I don't like that he just got smoked, but I do think Fugit is a little bit better than I gave him credit for. So maybe I'm kind of like overcorrecting here, but I'm not overly impressed with Goff nor his competition level. It's not like I would say from a betting
perspective, kick is just gonna kill Goff forever. It wasn't that bad. He got hit in the arm. It was more he was off that. He wasn't rocked by that kick. Like seriously, he was caught off guard by it. That's different than being rocked, which everybody is taking that clip. Whatever.
Yeah,
if Kinoshita got hit by that kick, he would have just quit.
Yeah, no, I know. Like that's not my sole reason for picking him, but I think from a betting perspective, it's probably dog or pass. I'm just passing. I'm gonna do the square thing and pick Kinoshita though. Again, one of those situations like if it's close, maybe they're just fucking like he's 23, dude. They might want him to just keep rocking after he lost. So I don't know. I could see some weird shit happening here. Give me Kinoshita though.
Nick and I on the Goff train. I know I talked with him earlier this week. We were both on that. Bettor, what's your thoughts on this one?
Yep, man. I gotta go against you. I gotta go the other way, man. I think this is one of the easier spots on the card. I went back and watched Goff. I think he's in trouble in every single one of his fights. And he's getting rocked and dropped, not just in this Matrisky fight. And we just saw this weekend, guys, Jews can't fight. I'm just playing. Natan Levy probably is like fuming somewhere right now.
Yeah, big fan.
But seriously, I think Kinoshita has the better striking. I think he's going to be able to defend the grappling. And I think he trains at the better gym, Kill Cliff FC. They're going to be looking to get him a win here. on the Asian card too. It's on their time zone. All those factors. Billy Goff has never been across seas to go for a fight, and I think in this spot he's going to have to use the grappling. But I've seen him reversed in fights. I've seen him flattened out on his back versus guys who are like 5-3. So I can't say that Kinoshita lost to Fugit. The thing is, Fugit is a UFC fighter. We just haven't seen if Billy Goff is UFC caliber yet.
Yep.
And I'm just going to treat this one like it's a contender series fight, man. And if it was, I'd be betting this dude here all the way. And he has a home turf advantage. So I got to go with that. I think he's going to be able to defend the grappling of Goff. But one thing I got to say is Billy Goff, he's like in this grappling tournament with one of my boys. And he said like he stunk so bad that he like had to throw out his shirt. So
I like that. Come in stinky, the Ron Artest approach.
Bro, so he might KO him via BO.
That's
KO
fine.
via BO.
Ron Artest made a career out of not showering for weeks.
So, we'll see if Kinoshita is ready. He might have to.
I have picked against Kinoshita as 3 opportunities I've had to pick against him. I picked Henrique on the Contender Series, the 21-year-old, and he made that was a difficult task, honestly. Then Fugit and now Goff. So I'm not the biggest Kinoshita believer. He is the first of, I believe, 7 dogs I have on this card. So I'll be honest, I feel a lot of dogs are barking. Down to plus 115 now, Goff is. So money has coming on that side. Minus 135 on Kinoshita. So the JV 5 unit is coming.
Oy vey, my friend, oy vey.
Oy vey. But yeah, over 1.5 at plus 115, which I don't think is the worst shot either. I could see this one going a little longer, but I do see a finish on one side or the other. Next fight, we got the veteran versus the upstart who had a good debut against a really good guy and ended up losing. Kinda. It was a very good fight in Rolando Bedoya and Kenan Song. Kenan Song, it's just feels like he's been around for quite a while, and we'll let JB come back when he does. Hopefully, I let the dogs out because obviously we'll talk about Park Reporter later.
Hi-oh.
But yeah, Kenan Song, Rolando Bedoya. This is kind of a fight here. There we go. I'll add you back here, JB. This is another fight that for me I don't want a whole lot to do with, if I'm being honest. I did like how Bedoya looked in his debut. I like the aggressiveness. I like the volume. I think he can mix it up decently. Kenan Song, he does have, I think, tricky power for one. I think he can surprise a lot of fighters with his power. He also is one of these fighters who keeps a lot of fights a lot closer. This is kind of one I could see being more of a split decision. If I'm being honest, I think the veteran could kind of slow down Bedoya at times, make it more of a methodical fight. I do think Bedoya, still hasn't shown it to me at this level. I think losing closely is something a lot of fighters can do, especially in a debut. So I don't like the number on Bedoya. I don't know which Kenan Song we're getting. Sometimes it's a very, lively Kenan Song. Other times it's not, but he's faced such a better, higher level of competition. I'm just leaving this one alone. Split candidate possibly, but otherwise not a whole lot there for me. Bettor, what do you think? I know I'm saying this a lot with this card, but it is what it is.
No, it's good. It's good, bro. It's a 5 a.m. greasy UFC card. Like, I think there was a lot better spots this week than on this card, but we'll see. In this fight though, I gotta go with the more athletic guy. He just went to split decision with Williams, who I don't think is too bad. We've seen Kenan Song knocked out in his last 2 fights, so I think people are going to be maybe playing a little bit of Bedoya finish to try and get that better number. I actually think fight goes the distance or Bedoya decision is a good look because Kenan Song's, even though he was finished in his last 2 fights, like looking out throughout his career, he hasn't really been getting finished crazy like that. So I think that could lead to some recency bias on some folks. So I think the sharper play would be like Bedoya decision to get that better number. I'm not sure exactly what it's sitting at, but that was my thought here. Maybe the over. We just saw him go to decision with Williams, who's a power puncher himself. So Interesting spot, but I don't want to go crazy with the decision props on Bedoya because I just don't know how he's going to be with the weight cut. The judging as well, it could be fishy over there. I'm just not sure how these Singapore judges are either.
Traveling over to Asia for the first time to fight.
Right. Right. So minus 260. I'd rather just play the decision. Bedoya decision. Bedoya
Yeah, I
maybe.
like it. And the over under,
yeah.
it's a pick 'em at the over 2.5 under too. It's minus 115 both ways. I like the over as well. Covers that judging, which I think is always smart to do, especially in places that don't have a lot of UFC fights. Just my 2 cents. What's your thoughts on this one? Is this the trap?
I mean, it depends, man. I don't know. I kind of went back and did some tape study on this, and maybe this is the old COVID brain fog talking here, but I think Bedoya chin checks this motherfucker. Like, I know that's the square, like, almost seems too good to be true, but I went back and watched that Chaos Williams fight. If he hits Chaos Williams, if he hits Kanan's Song like he was hitting Chaos Williams, he's not going to be able to stand, dude. Like, Song is one of those guys. He looks good offensively, but he does not have the durability to fight a dude like Bedoya and last the 3 rounds, in my opinion. I know it's kind of square, but I think Bedoya knocks him out like the first or second round.
There's nothing square about it, man. I appreciate the look there. I feel like I'm the one having a little more trouble here, but I'm not gonna be betting Song, but I'm definitely not betting Bedoya either. This is just one I'm sitting back. I might bet the over. But yeah, it's another close, weird, greasy fight. Another one of the Twitter fights of the week. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang Ninja Kawani taking on Michel Olejniczuk. I believe he's formerly Lord, now Hussar. These boys I think are going to stand. Maybe one of them will try to grapple at some point in this fight, but I don't think they're going to be successful. I think if either one grapples, the other one has enough grappling defense to where it won't matter, and that will be kind of a sign of who the dusty bitch is in this fight and who's probably going to lose, honestly. So I don't know, man. I've been back and forth on this one a lot. I get it that there's this rumor that Chitty just quits now under pressure. I think that's grossly over-exaggerated. I think, the thing that gets both these guys often is grappling, and they don't have to worry about the grappling here. I think they're going to throw down. I think it's going to be very close. I think Chitty is faster, a little more quicker to the punch, but at the same point, I think Michel better at closing the distance, pressuring, getting the fights more into his striking range to where I think he'll be more effective. Could see him working the body before going up top to finish this one on either side. I guess I could see that. So it's another fight that I feel is very close. I'm edging towards Chitty, though. I just think even though there is the age difference here, I do think Chitty's still the faster, more explosive guy here. I think it might it might be finished early on either way. So it might be whoever, kind of takes the initiative. I think Chitty ends up taking control and putting away Michel, but I was on Olejniczuk earlier this week, if I'm being honest. And it's just been one that, for me, my confidence in Chitty is undoubtedly shaken after the Duriev fight, because that is a fight I was so sure on Chitty on, and the way that he was so hesitant, it makes me kind of hesitant to take him, but I do think he learns the right lessons from this. I always bet on black, so I got Chitty in this spot. 2 cents where you land on one of the, I think, better fights on the card, frankly.
I think you're right, dude. I think it is one of the better fights. Stylistically, it's been one of the tougher ones for me to predict. I don't have a bet one way or the other, but it's like, if you like either side, the last time I looked, it was still close to even money either way. So it's like, it's kind of just pick your poison here. I'm going to go with Chitty as well, though. It's the reach, really, honestly, for me. And I've just never thought that much of Mikhail Olejniczuk. Like, you look
We're
at
in the big octagon here in Singapore too.
So you look at his record and, like, who is this motherfucker beating? Gian Vellante, Anti Gulov, like Cody Brundage. Like, what the fuck is this record, dude? Like, even his losses. Kaio's a good loss, but Dustin Jacoby, that's not aging that well. Crute, OSP. Like, the guy's just kind of a jabroni to me. Like, I get the fade on Cheaty. He's kind of chinny. He's older. But honestly, man, if it wasn't for the age, the number of the age itself, I would be way more confident in Cheaty. But, like, dude, offensively, man, Cheaty ain't nothing sweet if he's letting his hands go and he's got that reach advantage. I don't know, man. Like, I'm not super duper confident in Cheaty, but I think I can see him getting a club and sub. But yeah, I'm gonna give me Injo Kawani by something, but not super duper confident. Great fight though, for sure.
Better.
Yeah, it should be a close one, but I think the movement of Oleg Jacek, and the thing we got to remember about Oleg Jacek, those losses were a little bit early on in his career, and he was going up against higher level competition. I don't think he was favored in any of those fights to win. Like he was supposed to lose those fights. At the end of the day, I mean, he performed a little bit underperformed, getting Kimura right, and finished by OSP as well, but. The performances as of recent, that Justin Jacoby fight, went back and watched, was actually pretty close. I think he was having his moments versus Jacoby. And you could say that didn't age really well, but, that was a few years ago. Dustin Jacoby, the code really hadn't been cracked yet. I think that was, probably his worst performance to date at the time, before, once he rejoined the UFC, not like his way past fights back in the day. But I think I'm going to go Oleg Jacek here. I bet $120 to win 100. I think I might hedge like a little bit the other way on Chitty knockout just in case. I think if it goes the distance though, it's Oleg Jacek's fight to win. If he doesn't get hit by a big shot, I think he's going to be able to outwork Chitty and get the win. I'll take the younger fighter. Go with Oleg Jacek here.
Yep, cardio might be an issue, which is what Stubborn Mick brought up as well. Minus nearly a pick 'em at this point. -1. It is a pick 'em actually. -110 both sides now. So money has come in a little bit on Chitty. Be interested to see the over 1.5 plus 110 there. So good fight. Hopefully stays on the feet. All right, we're back to Singapore here with Toshimi Kazama taking on Garrett Armfield. Got that contract off of that impressive performance against Rinya Nakamura, where he got knocked into another world in 31 seconds. And Kazama, he's got kind of tricky jiu-jitsu, I will say that, but it's kind of, I do question kind of if it would work against kind of a guy like Armfield. I think Armfield has good enough wrestling to, if he does get on top, I'll be interested to see how the bottom game of Kazama reacts initially, because it's one way or the other, I think, here, because I think if Garrett does go into the grappling here, which he might not, we saw on the feet that Kazama, he's decent with the striking, but I don't think he's anything too special. I think Garrett's going to kind of have his way on the feet with the striking. And I know Garrett's gotten submitted a few times in his career, but mostly that's come after, both times it's come after kind of quite a bit of adversity on both sides and against good opponents with chokes also, which Toshimi never has had a choke finish, which I just think is weird. You're seeing arm bars, heel hooks, things that work on the Asian lower level circuit and don't tend to work as we go up more. I don't like Armfield's number at all here. It's kind of just like gross. His last fight was at featherweight. He's back down at bantamweight. So, I get people being excited for that, but this is one where I just don't know enough about Kazama yet, and I don't have that much confidence in Armfield to put anything at this number. So I would say Armfield probably gets the knockout just because Kazama has been knocked out really hard in 2 of his last 3 losses. But, Kazama's got good jiu-jitsu. If he submitted him or wins a quenchable decision, I'm not going to be shocked either. So I'll go with Armfield, no bet. Better?
Yeah, I'm gonna wait to watch the weigh-ins on this one also, but I like the under 2.5. I think this fight probably doesn't go the distance. I think this guy is gonna have 1 round of cardio and 1 round of jiu-jitsu to finish Armfield. I don't think his jiu-jitsu is that good. I don't think he's honestly even UFC level in my opinion. I think Armfield is the side here. Hopefully I get an even better number on him with some of those casual bettors.
The casual Jika bettors just saw Jika brought up by the Mick.
Let's go.
Remember Jika? Remember that Jika love?
Never forget, dude. Never forget who was on Jubilee Island, boys. Never forget who was lamping on Jubilee Island.
Jika was the next coming. He was the next guy. He was going to change MMA forever. I've forgotten about Jika. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm going Armfield here, bro. That's it.
Yeah. 2 cents.
Armfield to complete the trilogy or the Trinity or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. Anything further about him? Anything?
No, I have nothing. The COVID's clouding my brain. I think I need to get more stoned and just move on with my life.
Minus 160. No, dude, it's all good. Minus 160 plus 135 on Kazama. Seeing a little bit of money come in on Kazama. It was funny in like the first 30 seconds of that Rinya fight. They were talking about how Rinya hadn't gone for a takedown yet. And they're like, he's very intimidated by Kazama's jiu-jitsu. And then he like knocked him out and his head bounced off of the canvas. And it's like, yep. I think if Rinya wanted to take down Kazama, he would have been okay. So just a hot take here. All right. Here comes the heavyweights. Lukasz Brzezinski taking on Waldo Cortez Acosta. This was one I just did out of principle. If Lukasz does fight with leg kicks in his arsenal, Walter Cortez Acosta is going to have a hard time. He just has shown that in all of his fights. I like Lukasz is one of the not bigger heavyweights here, so I do anticipate him having a little better gas tank here to be able to sustain kind of the same type of game plan DeLima did, honestly. And I was not sold that DeLima was that special either. I get it. Brzezinski has not won a fight in his last 3 fights. He got into UFC on a no contest. Just overall, this is a fade on Walter Cortez Acosta. I don't think he's very good. I think he basically boxes, leaves his feet very, very, very planted. And I think that Lukasz, if anything, is the more well-rounded heavyweight here. And so I think that when the better overall MMA fighter between 2 low-level guys, I take the better, more well-rounded MMA fighter. Just my 2 cents knows this very well. So I'm taking the underdog Lukasz here. Fade on Waldo, to be honest. 2 cents. Cloudy.
Cloudy, yes. So I am on the Lukasz Brzezinski side as well, my friend. And like yourself, I'm just sticking to the script, dude. He is going to fucking BMF him. Brzezinski throws a nice low calf kick. And I watching his fights. When it gets hairy, he going to go to that grappling bow. He going to go to that Eurotrash grappling. And Cortez Acosta, you said it, dude, he's pretty much just a boxer. And he just fucking eats low kicks like it's his job. So, yeah, like you can say the Budai and Carl Williams fights are bad looks, but if you look at that, Cortez Acosta is not going to fight like Carl Williams. Carl Williams took him down like 8 fucking times. And like Budai, he kind of like doubled Budai up on striking numbers. Like you can argue that Brzezinski won that fight. So I'm not as down on him for those 2 losses as some people are.
Let's not hate on Booty. Booty made us a bunch of money a couple weeks ago. Dude.
Yeah, dude. And
the
like
Booty Khalil Roundtree parlay, I put so many damn eggs into that basket, baby.
Yeah.
I don't regret a thing. So shout out to Booty.
Yeah, man. Shout out to old Booty. Booty rocking everywhere, man. So yeah, I like Brzezinski to get done. I bet him at plus 200. So I hope that's not a bad sign like it usually is when I beat fucking lines. But let's go, man. I think Brzezinski BMFs him. Better mixed martial art fighters him.
Thank you. JB, I did take a peek. I do know this is one of your dogs, but go ahead.
Oh, Lord. But we're going to get trashed in the comments, bro. All 3 sweep
Bring
on
the
Lukasz.
Walter Cortez Acosta army out. That's fine.
Lukasz Brzezinski, man. I think Waldo Cortez Acosta is the square play of the week. Let's go.
Perfect. Yeah.
Let's go, Lukasz Brzezinski!
Yes.
I got him at like plus 200. Let's fucking go.
I love it.
I got to hype up the boys.
When I'm capping a Waldo Cortez Acosta tape or opponent, I go, can he throw leg kicks? Yup. And if so, I'm going to probably take the opponent. Is he going to grapple at times? Yup. If so, I'm taking the opponent. Does he have a semi-gas tank? If so, yes. Like,
Waldo's gas tank isn't even that good. I think people are like saying, yeah, exactly.
Not at all. I mean,
Listen to some people.
It's good because all he does is box.
I know it, dude. And if you listen to some people talk about him, you'd swear he's fucking Deontay Wilder. He couldn't finish Chase Sherman and Jared Vandera, and he lost to that like hype job De Lima. So it's like I don't get all the Cortez Acosta.
Oh my god, I love the hype job De Lima that got us Derek Lewis at +1.
God, that was some of the easiest money I made this year, dude.
It's been the summer of easy money. If you're just selective about your spots, like really, it's just like we've trusted our eyes a few times here, and the last couple of weeks it's been working out as well. So yeah, we're all on the dog and Brzezinski here. I also got him around at +200. He's still at +200 right now, -250 on Waldo. I just can't imagine like why you would do that to yourself. That's the feature prelim. We're into the main prelim, starting at probably like 9 in the morning. If you're up watching this with me, good for you. Junior Tafa time. Parker Porter wants to beat up on another Tafa, and this time it's a younger, less good Tafa he's going against. To be honest, it's better mixed martial arts fighter for 2 straight scrub heavyweight fights here. This one just I feel is a little more obvious because again with Parker Porter, I think he's got to avoid the fire early. I think once he does, he gets into his rhythm with the grappling, with the wrestling, with just the better overall mixed martial arts fighter syndrome here. And he's going to take this one. Parker Porter, to me, probably just scrubs this out to a gross decision. You're going to see a 3-round decision here. I'm hoping not 2 straight fights. If we have to see 30 minutes of like heavyweight slop at 8 in the morning, oh well, like I'm still going to watch it, but like, damn, I hope I'm cashing on some dogs because I got Parker Porter. This is one where I saw the odds. I didn't understand how it wasn't reversed. I don't get it. So maybe Junior Tafa comes in here, but I'm sorry. Junior Tafa lost to Muhammad Usman. I think Parker Porter is going to put it on him badly. Better. What's your thoughts on this?
Bro, like Muhammad Usman made him look so good in my opinion. I think I really think Junior Tafa is like not good at all. No. I think he's the less experienced martial artist, just like you said. This is going to be a close heavyweight fight, and I feel like a majority of the people are on Tafa as well. Like a disgusting amount of Tapology votes. I looked at the splits; it's pretty wide as well for one of the fights that's the most closely lined. Like if you talk to people on the Junior Tafa side, they would swear he's like -200, -210 in this spot.
And he's like I think they think it's his brother. I swear. There's like Jay Tafa. Jay Tafa.
Dude, I had a few people who were like, but his brother knocked him out. I'm like, geez, that like makes me want to fade him like automatically when people start to say stuff like that. It's not the same person, man. I think Porter all the way here. He can even just hold him up against the cage. His wrestling isn't the greatest, but he came in the last fight looking really in a lot better shape, and he finished Braxton Smith.
He's weighed since light heavyweight days. I agree.
I'm in with you, dog. I'm going with Porter.
We're back-to-back heavyweight dogs here.
Let's go.
2 cents. You better be on Porter's season.
Oh, the baby. Well, this is one reason that I'm kind of glad I have COVID this week because any like shitty picks or like terrible reads, I can just blame on this godforsaken virus.
Nice.
But let me. I don't know what Parker Porter did to offend the Tafa family, but it just seems like it's like a fucking family vendetta or something at this point. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like I'm not talking about you guys necessarily, but I just feel like people are saying the same things about this fight that they said about when he fought Justin. And I realize that Junior is not as experienced, or I wouldn't say I'd even go ahead and like agree with y'all that he's not as good. He's like the lesser of the Tafa brothers, but he's a lot younger, and Parker ain't got no fucking chin, and he doesn't really have a lot of fight IQ. Like he could have won the Justin Tafa fight if he had fought smarter, but he just chose to brawl with him. I think he might get knocked out by Junior Tafa, but I am not gonna like put my foot down on that. Like Parker is the better mixed martial artist and should BMF him, but just to be a contrarian and to be a fucking shit, I'm going to say Tafa by KO. Let's go.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
yeah.
I will say this, though. He did look like he was taking shots a lot better in his last fight, and I think that could be due to, like, just him being in better shape. You're able to take a shot a little bit better cardio, and I don't know, man. We'll see. It's the interesting one. I got a small bet on Porter, like $65 to win 70 or whatever.
Yeah. If Porter 0% win rate against Tafa is a very good point from Jack there. Plus 120 on Porter, minus 140 on a junior Tafa here. I'm glad we don't agree on those two dogs all together here. It makes me feel better about the pick.
Tafa via COVID logic.
Yeah, exactly. Moving on to the next fight here. This is a very interesting fight at flyweight here. Haven't seen Talia Santos in quite some time. So don't really know what kind of shape she's going to show up in here for. I know she trains pretty much by herself in Brazil. I think she has some pending lawsuits going on in America that's causing her to have to take this fight overseas. 30 years old, hasn't fought since that split decision loss to Valentin or to Shevchenko. I mean, it was a very impressive performance. But for me, I just think that Erin Blanchfield is the new kind of class of MMA. I think Talia Santos, she got her title shot not beating a whole lot of crazy competition, and she did have a good performance against Shevchenko, and that was over a year ago. I think her fighting overseas for the first time is interesting, as also for Erin Blanchfield. I just think Blanchfield is much more fluid. On the feet, I think Santos can keep this very close. It being 3 rounds makes me a little more hesitant, but I think Erin is good enough in the stand-up. She's going to get the grappling going. Once she gets the grappling going, she'll keep the grappling going. And, I like Erin Blanchfield in this spot by decision. I would love to see her get the finish, though. 2 cents, what's your thoughts? Or better, I wasn't sure if you're back or not.
I'm here, but I will take this one if you want me to. All right. I like sorry. I was eating, and I know some people have a problem with like eating on camera. I don't want to do that to y'all. Yeah. Be all disrespectful. So in this spot, man, I like Erin Blanchfield. I think she's the better grappler. I think she could mix both together, and she's super young, and we see her improving each and every fight. I think this is a spot that they want her to win as well. Like I think they're giving her favorable matchups to get to the top. This is a big test, though, in Taila Santos. I think this is her toughest test to date. Like Maverick, she was absolutely dominating. I was on her in that spot. But the thing is, like, look at – I know this is stupid to say, but you've been cashing on both these girls. I think, Blanchfield, I've just been a little bit more accurate on my reads with her. I think she's going to be able to get this to the ground at one point and win rounds from there, because I think once Santos is on her back, she's going to settle, and that's where that jiu-jitsu of Blanchfield and just her top pressure, MMA, wrestling, control, I think she's going to be able to get this one done. Blanchfield is going to be champion of the division by 2024.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I have several parlays from last week carrying over with.
Good luck, my man. Let's go. I think the New Jersey native Erin Blanchfield, jiu-jitsu specialist. I think she has one of the best grappling games in MMA, actually, not just in the women's flyweight division. So she's going to be a problem for anybody here. But this is her toughest test. I do agree. So I don't blame people taking the shot on the Santos side. But I don't know if she's going to be all there. Why has she been out for so long? Like Blanchfield's been more active.
Yeah, I think I
see more upside.
I see a lot more questions on Santos as well. 2 cents. What's your thoughts on this one?
Boys, I'm going to keep this short, sweet, and just cut right to the meat. Erin Blanchfield, a.k.a. Easy Blanchfeezy, a.k.a. Erin Lockfield, ITD, probably by submission.
Oh, inside the distance. I like it.
Dude, let me piggyback. I love JB's breakdown, and I'll just piggyback right off of that. The grappling, yes. The champion in 2024, abso-fucking-lutely. Dude, you look at Santos's 2 losses. What do those 2 losses have in common? She got taken down multiple times. Erin Blanchfield is going to get this bitch to the ground. And when she does, it is going to be over very shortly afterwards. She is a blue belt. Blanchfield is a legit black as fucking pitch. Blacker than a dark steer's tuchus on a moonless prairie night. That kind of black belt. She's going to smoke her when it gets to the ground. Blanchfield will be champion. She is future champion. The only reason that I faded her against Andrade is because Andrade is my favorite mixed martial artist, and it was just Jessica's the homie. But nah, Blanchfield's going to smoke this bitch when it gets to the ground.
Yeah, and I'm seeing the under 2.5 right now at plus 200. So you're telling me let's jump on that.
What a line for Aaron. Even just a money line. That is like the parlay piece of the
sides, week. Under 2.5 total, not for just Aaron. Under 2.5 is plus 200.
I absolutely that was just the easiest parlay piece I've ever seen. I didn't have to think about it whatsoever. Just put it
I'm not high on it as you, bro. I'm definitely not. I think this is her toughest test to date, but I think she passes with flying colors. There might be some tough parts in the striking, but I think once she mixes up and gets it to the ground, that's where she's going to have success. I actually see a 29-28, maybe a round 3 sub.
Yeah, no, I would love to see inside the distance. So
good luck, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. Minus 150 on Erin Blanchfield. Money slowly coming in, trickling in. Plus 1.
Nah, yeah, I parlayed her. It was like minus 150 or something. Yeah, I'm not betting inside the distance, but I just think that's what happens.
Yeah, no, fair enough. All right, next one. This is going to be unless you got a hot take for me here. This is Rinya Nakamura season. Unfortunately, it's minus 800. No one's finished Santos. Yeah, exactly, Lobby. That's a very good point. Rinya Nakamura, this dude can wrestle. This dude can strike, especially with the hands. I'm not sure with the kicks yet, but his wrestling is so legit that I think as he gets into higher competition, maybe just from the jump in the UFC, he'll use it more here. Because Fernie does have some decent boxing, some decent movement on the feet, but I think he'll give up quite a bit of takedowns. Rinya probably with a ground and pound finish is what I'm thinking here. Does have a few submissions also, but his submissions are kind of more bully submissions. I think Fernie has a good enough jits game to stay out of that, but I think the ground and pound could be a factor because the wrestling for Nakamura is probably his strongest attribute, and his hands are damn scary too. But I just think Rinya is the real deal, man. Obviously, minus 800, we all know. KO is going to be square as well. So I'm getting as square as it can be. I think it probably gets done early, too. I don't think he's going to play with his food. I think first round KO is his money line. So just my 2 cents.
I'm on Rinya Nakamura. Yes, I'm the biggest fucking square on earth, and I stuck that retarded-ass money line in a parlay.
It's in the Zhongli. Don't worry.
But I think it hits anyway. It is. It's a cocky parlay piece, but it's going to hit. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Honestly, Fernie Garcia, he's not bad on the feet. I just think this is another one of those I was talking about earlier in the card. If it gets hairy, Rinya is a legit wrestler. He's going to put the wrestling shoes on. He's going to get the takedowns. Fernie off of his back, with Rinya on top of him. Nah, I don't like that whatsoever. So, yeah, it's not you're doing it just to flex. It's I'm so confident in Rinya. He's not going to lose, but he's probably not going to fucking lose. So, yeah, Rinya Nakamura.
I'll say right now, he's my favorite minus 800 on the card.
Yeah, I'm
not
almost
even
positive.
Close. Between the two minus 800s, I don't think it's close which one. I think even though this is his UFC debut. But Jewish Bettor, are you a Rinya Nakamura believer?
Jewish Bettor is a Rinya Nakamura believer. I think he is going to absolutely smoke Fernie Garcia like a pack of cigarettes. It's going to be round 1. I'm going with Rinya. Come on, guys. Let's go on to the next fight. This isn't even close.
Yeah, no, this is. I think minus 800 might be a bargain, which is how it ended up in the.
I agree.
Seriously, he should be. It's going to be brutal. This is a great fight here. Giga Chikazi making his return here against Alex Caceres here, Bruce Leroy. I think this is going to be a great fight, honestly. The question for me continues to be with Giga. When his opponent chooses to really lay on the grappling and get aggressive with the grappling, how does he respond to that? And, Giga's come a long way since getting submitted by Austin Springer, but still got submitted by Austin Springer. And I get it. He's worked on his grappling. Every time you go to his Instagram, I'm working on my grappling. I'm wearing a gi. I'm like, he just loves jiu-jitsu, except for when it happens in real life action here. And Alex Caceres is way underrated in his grappling and jiu-jitsu, especially in fights where he really puts a focus on it. I get it, the Kron Gracie moment, but yes, it is not Kron Gracie here. And I think that Alex Caceres is going to have a grappling heavy game plan in this fight. I think it's going to be effective. I think he might find the neck of Giga, and I think he might put him away with a rear naked choke. That's kind of what I see in my mind here. Again, I before I look at the odds at the beginning of the week when I'm doing my initial tape study, I make my own lines. I didn't understand this line when I saw it, like at all. Like I was like, this is a pick'em, and then it's minus 200 plus for Giga. I'm sorry, you forced my hand at plus 205. I took Alex Caceres. I think he finds a submission. I also think even if he doesn't, I think he could end up backpacking Giga for some, eating away minutes with the grappling. On the feet, I do think Giga is better, but I don't think Alex is like beyond like realm in that to at least hang in there at moments in the fight as well. I just think this is a very close fight. I think Giga still has a lot of question marks. It's going to be 35 now, so it's like, again, kind of around, like they're both around, that kind of questionable spot where they might slow down. But I just think I still like seeing how Caceres is continuing to evolve and has gotten better in his game. So I took another dog shot here at Alex Caceres. I think that the grappling is going to play a significant role, and I will side with submission if I had to pick a method as well. So I like Bruce Leroy by a rear naked choke. Jewish Bettor.
Yeah, I think this is going to be like one of the spots where like you take the value side on Caceres and it winds up coming back to bite you. And Giga winds up winning like a 29-28 decision. I think Caceres could use the grappling, but the thing is, he doesn't have like the craziest offensive wrestling, in my opinion. He just winds up in scrambles. He'll fall off for submissions over position. He's a submission over position type guy, in my opinion. And he's also 35 years old, and then he's been on a little bit of a streak. Like he had the one loss to, I believe it was I was gonna say CH Saud, but it's not. It's the other guy's coach, Sadiq Youssef. Sadiq Youssef. I get those two confused all the time for some reason, but Caceres striking isn't bad either. This could be a closer fight than people like the odds suggest, but I just think Giga's a little bit crisper. He's going to be able to bank 2 of those 3 rounds and wind up winning the spot. I don't hate the bet on Caceres because, like I said, I do believe he's the value side. I think you're getting the better of the number, and that's what you want to do at the end of the day. But
yeah, I'm thinking like my value play between like Ling Na and Alex Caceres, for example. Like I'll take the low price.
Oh, I hear you, man. No doubt. I just don't know. It's either gonna be like the parlay killer will either be like Giga or Waldo. Yeah. So we'll see. This could definitely be a sharp play as well on Caceres.
Give me one of those correct, and we're good on the night either way. So give me 2, and we got the gravy. So
yeah, this is a pass for me though. This is a pass for me. Good luck, my friend.
Thank you, man. 2 cents. What do you think about this fight? Great fight.
I'm just going to be the fucking asshole again, dude. I'm just going to be the COVID-riddled fucking shithead. Nah, man. I do not think this is close on the feet. I think Giga is going to fuck this dude. If he beats Giga, it will far and away be his best win. And I don't think he's getting his best win at 35. Caceres is a jobber. He's always been a jobber. Look at what his best win streak consists of. Steven Peterson, Chase Hooper, Austin Springer, Kevin Groom, and
Giga lost to Austin Springer. Giga lost to Austin Springer.
Dude.
Got submitted by that motherfucker. Got submitted by him in this century.
Alex Caceres doesn't even have an Edson Barboza type of win.
Yeah, please.
What's Alex Caceres' best win? It's going to be a jobber. It's going to be a jobber for sure. It's for sure going to be a jobber.
Pineda.
I'm jabroni. Old ass, chinny ass jabroni.
I'm guessing.
Giga on the feet. Giga is going to fucking obliterate this dude. Giga's going to body him. Giga's going to body him.
All right. Well, you're the reason this number stays at minus 250 then, plus 205, and you might have to bet Caceres anyways because he might be in a Zhang Li parlay, so you won't have a choice.
I won't. You're forcing my hand there, brother.
Co-main event, the rematch we've all been waiting for. Anthony Smith and Ryan Spann 2. Anthony Smith kind of beat his ass after getting out of that seatbelt grip like takedown at the beginning of the fight, and then exposed his grappling after exposing his lack of defense on the feet, and then put him away with the submission. For some reason, Anthony Smith is now an underdog in this spot, and I don't really get it. I'm not super behind either guy. I get it. Anthony Smith now 35 years old. He's had a couple rough losses along the way here, but I just think he still knows how to get it done against Spann. Spann, he's just got to survive early against, and then I think as this fight goes on, it becomes more Anthony Smith's fight. Better mixed martial arts fighter, BMF once again. Anthony Smith, plus 110. I don't get why he's the plus side still. I am not sold on Ryan Spann's IQ. I'm not sold on Ryan Spann's ability to string together a volume of punches. He kind of just throws one at a time. He's got good power. I'll give him that. So that's my fear early. But as this fight goes on, more and more Anthony Smith's for me. So Anthony can hurt him, probably submit him again, but probably goes to decision. Who knows? Everybody's expecting violence. So it's maybe I'll play that other side. But honestly, Anthony Smith for me. 2 cents.
Dude, I agree with everything you just said, and I'm on the same side. I don't understand, I love how people are shitting on Anthony Smith for losing to Johnny Walker, losing a decision to him, but, are y'all are these people forgetting what, Walker did to Ryan Spann? He, fucking smoked him.
Right.
I don't know, dude.
Wasn't that Johnny Walker's first decision win ever?
Yeah, I don't, yes, Smith is getting up there. Spann is younger. I don't understand this booking. It wasn't really that competitive between them. I guess they think Smith's just falling off a cliff and he's just losing his fucking mind. And I know he was kind of going crazy, excuse me, in the Walker fight, but I think that version of Walker is better than the Spann.
He did yell at Walker in there about his dad because he was just gotten home invaded, right?
Yeah, but that happened
I think he's okay now.
Right.
I think he's okay now.
Right. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't get it. Yeah, I like Smith. Yeah.
I trust what I saw, and it wasn't 6 years ago.
Yeah,
these guys are the same. I agree.
It was literally 2 years ago. It wasn't even that long ago.
No.
And I don't think Smith's gotten – I think he's gotten better, but I don't think he's gotten that much better. And I think the narrative on Smith, right, is that he's washed now because he lost to Magomed Ankalaev. You attacked my fan. I think that sticks out in people's minds, too, when it comes to betting. They're like, man, he's washed. He's talking about crazy stuff in the octagon. But when you go back and really watch that fight from a technical aspect, the first thing that really happened was Johnny Walker chewed him up with leg kicks. Now we go back and remember, the real thing I'm worried about here is, does Ryan Spann go ahead and kick the legs?
Right.
Because that's what I'm worried about with Anthony Smith. Ankalaev was able to do it to him. Ironically, he did it to Jimmy Crute. Then Ankalaev was able to do it to him. Then Walker absolutely smashed the leg of Anthony Smith.
Right.
And I think Ryan Spann's not really out here throwing calf kicks, man. He's got a nice jab. He's got an overhand right that if it connects, it's going to hurt you. Dominic Reyes, man, I think he's more chinny than anything, man. That wasn't even a shot I didn't think should put anybody out.
No.
Sure, Ryan Spann has power, but Smith is the better mixed martial artist. So Ryan Spann is his bitch. I'm going with plus 110 on Anthony Smith.
Agreed.
The analyst, Anthony Smith.
The analyst, podcaster, Anthony Smith. I agree here. Yeah, the under 1.5 at minus 190. That is just disgusting. I might have to take a shot on that over.
I low key think this one could go over. I'm not banking on it, but I low key think it could happen.
Plus 150.
And I think that favors Smith.
Plus 150 and it favors Anthony. I agree. Yeah, we're all on the dog there, plus 110. For whatever reason, minus 130 span. I don't get it. Main event time. Max Holloway is going to fight the Korean Zombie, and I just have a whole lot of problems with this because Max isn't going to get this done early. Max is going to make this go all 5 rounds. He's going to land like 450 strikes to Korean Zombie's 80 or something, and Korean Zombie's going to just be bloodied up. Everybody's going to be cheering, and people are going to be like, "This is what makes Chan Sung Jung great," and he's not going to go out and Max Holloway's going to win a 50-44 or worse. Like, honestly, the minus 5.5 on Max Holloway makes sense to me. I don't see where he drops around here against Chan Sung Jung, and I don't see him finishing Chan Sung Jung either. I just think this is the type of fight where both guys are like hugging with like 2 minutes to go, and like Chan Sung Jung's all bloody and just like, how great is this? And then they're like, one more fight. Then they put him against, like, I don't know who else. They need to give him a winnable fight so he can get out of the octagon. This is not it. Max Holloway by decision for me. I just can't get there on the KO. I don't think he drops around. So if you want to do the minus 5.5, I don't blame you. I think he's going to clear this one completely. I don't think this is competitive. I don't like this fight for Korean Zombie at all. Max Holloway just trying to stay warm. If Max Holloway knocks him out quickly, he can like talk himself into another Volk beating, which would be horrible. So I hope he gets a decision just for that. Jewish Bettor.
I think this is a Max Holloway spot all the way. I think he gets the job done by round 3 knockout. Round 3 Max Holloway. That's the round for him in the past. If you go back and look throughout his career. I bet it a couple times in the past. I don't think he's going to get it done by submission. And I think the damage is just adding up for Zombie. I don't think he's going to be able to make it all the way. Max Holloway is going to put on a masterclass like we've seen him do time and time again. Max Holloway's fighting. I'm probably putting my money down on him. He just made me some money versus Arnold Allen. So even though this price is way different, I added him in some parlays. I could always hedge out, but yeah, man, this is a good spot for Max Holloway all day. Round 3 knockout.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. 2 cents. What's your thoughts on this one?
I am going to concur with what my dude JB just said. I think Max gets him up out of there. Like, the volume he's going to put on him and what JB just said about the damage adding up, dude, that Volk fight with Korean Zombie, that could actually be a career-changing beating. I don't know, man.
I was there live when that happened. It was horrible.
Oh, my God, dude. Like, the way Max, like, puts his volume boxing together, man, it is going to be all over Chan's face. I hope it gets mercifully stopped, dude, because I think this is going to be a really.
Is this a hot take? But I feel like Max Holloway doesn't really have killer instinct.
No, he's not a power puncher, but this is the thing. His volume.
He likes to go 5 rounds. Like, he'd rather just keep like punching you just enough to get it stopped. Like,
the only way I'll push back on that a little bit is like I think that Volk has a lot to do with that. Like, you take Volk out, and it's like, nah. And it's like Cater's a tough
even
fuck.
The Cater fight, like he should have finished Cater.
That should have been stopped. But like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but he's like, I know. I'd rather just style and put my hands down and teach you about boxing for 2 rounds.
Right,
like,
and I think that if he does that,
to just keep fighting.
I think it might get either doctor stopped, maybe ref stopped, like where it's like, okay, I've just seen enough. Like Max is just going to keep. You're just going to keep walking forward into this, and it's just like, okay, that's enough is enough. It might be kind of like a boxing style TKO, where it's just like, okay, that's it. I'm tired of watching this. You know,
it's not going to be round 1 or 2. I don't think, in my opinion, either.
No, I think you're right. I think you're right. Like 3, 4, maybe even 5.
So maybe sprinkle 3 through 5 or something. You're saying split a unit over those few.
But yeah, I like what JB's saying around like round 3, like maybe beyond that.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the main event here. Really quickly, and then we'll take off the Zhongli parlay. I teased it at the beginning of the show. It's at plus 25.56 at the time of this. So again, in case you're unfamiliar, 5 money line fights. We put them together in a parlay. It's very, very simple. And those 5 include, let's see, 1, 2, 3 underdogs, And we are starting out the parlay with, of course, Parker Porter. We got Parker Porter on the parlay here. Move on to a mostly main card parlay. We do have Aaron Blanchfield in there. We also have Arinya Nakamura, as I said. Alex Caceres makes it in there at plus 205. So just my 2 cents. I'm sorry, you're going to have to hedge there.
Fuck.
And to round out the parlay, Anthony Smith, the dog that shouldn't be a dog, at plus 110. Those 5 together plus 25.56. Again, put $5 down on it. Like, honestly, put $5 down on it. You're winning 250, I think, on 5. I put 20 down on it. Like,
Yowza.
exactly.
The only one I don't agree with is Caceres, but I could be wrong.
It could, yeah. That's totally fair. And 2 cents from a couple weeks ago. I think there was one.
But Brzezinski, man, come on, dog. What about Brzezinski?
You can put Brzezinski in there. You can put Brzezinski in there.
Yeah. That's the move.
You sub out if you don't like Caceres that much. You can sub in.
It could be one of those, though. I think it's one of those.
Yeah. So either way, plus 25.56. I'm not gonna, sneeze at that too much here. Really quickly, I'm gonna go and do a quick picks on the PFL. Picks.
Yeah.
If you want to join me really
Let's
quickly? All good. 2 cents. I know you don't really care about PFL that much, but you can stick around. We won't be around too long. So you can give thoughts if you have any. And if not, you can just be like, you can be useless. It's all good. Like, we're seriously going really quickly into these. I'm not going to pick too much on them. Putting 500 on it minus Caceres. Totally fine. If you want to take out Caceres, if you want to do your 4-leg, I'll allow it here. But
that's dope.
Appreciate it. Thank you guys both for the breakdown there. And really quick, PFL starting in 20 minutes. John Caldone. We're all on John Caldone here, I assume. I don't know anything about Nathaniel Grimwald, though. But, yeah. We don't really have any thoughts on John Caldone or Grimwald. We don't have any thoughts on David Zellner. I'll do Al-Quati. Unless you do, you can I'm
on Al-Quati. I'm going to take a money line in a parlay. I got him in some.
Okay, cool.
I think it's a good spot.
I do like Michelle Montague as the underdog in the Abby Montez fight quite a bit. What are your thoughts on that one?
I was going to take Montez. I thought she was the sharp, but I actually wound up just passing. I think this is going to be a close decision.
Yeah, I do too. We got Mustafa Rashed Nada with next to no cardio going against Corey Cup here, who gets knocked out quite a bit, gets knocked around. Nada either knocks him out or death gasses is my thoughts.
I'm with you on that one. That's a good read.
Yeah,
I agree.
I wouldn't bet on either guy ever. I love Alexei Peregrande. I really do like this guy. I think they are edging him about kind of slowly here, but I think this guy's the real deal. Like him and Chris Mixon, another guy with PFL, who unfortunately Chris Mixon a couple of weeks ago had a weigh-in incident, knocked his head and had to pull out his fight. But I think him and Peregrande could end up kind of being two of the prospects growing from PFL that could be very good. You have any thoughts on Peregrande?
Yeah, I put him in a parlay. I think he's a good pick. The one fight you could go back and maybe question was the Quinones fight. I actually bet him pretty big there. But he was sick the week of. I actually messaged him like, what, blah blah blah. I forget what I said, but he's like, yeah, basically he was sick or something the whole week. He couldn't train, and that's kind of why I think that fight was so close. But I think he's the real deal, man. He's going to get the job done here, and he has an opponent that he could do it versus, as well. So let's go.
Agreed. Bijia Ali Walsh making the return here. Amateur fight. Who cares? It's against Ed Davis. Bijia is going to knock him out. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
This next fight, I think this is an interesting one at welterweight. I'll say right now, I am one of the biggest non-believers in Solomon Renfro that exists on this planet. So there is that. That being said, Magomed Kirimov is very damaged goods. Very damaged goods. He comes into every fight, I feel, somewhat compromised. You don't know kind of the condition he's in at this point. Solomon Renfro, I think, is going to put it all into that early finish, all into that first round. I think he could surprise and end up sparking Magomed, especially at the price this is at. I want nothing to do with Magomed's side. If I was taking a shot, it'd be on Renfro. I hate Renfro, so it's a pass. I understand the Renfro side.
Thanks, man. I'm trying my best to pick these underdogs as carefully as possible. And the thing I like about Renfro is he's really only lost to UFC level competition. Like we were just talking about how good, underrated Fugit is. And, he was doing good, all right versus Mike Mallet. He was definitely losing the fight, but, he's always in there and he's always in the fight. Rinya really was just debuting in that spot. And same thing with Solomon Renfro. That wasn't in the UFC, but he lost to Johnny Parsons, I believe, by split. Pretty close fight, actually. We just saw Parsons recently as well. These are all UFC level guys. Mm-hmm. The thing we got to remember is he's only 26 years old right now. So some people are saying like this isn't the weight class for him, but he won his last fight at this weight class. Like it could be a better thing for him, like the speed, the cardio. We could see a more improved version of Renfro, and I think the PFL likes this guy. Hometown guy as well. I believe he's from New York, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Probably not Philly now.
Partners on the card in the main event. So I think if there's a parlay killer, it's Magomed. How do you say his last name? Whatever, man.
Magomed Akiramov.
Yeah.
Professor Chaos has been in here all day and saying good stuff. I think Bruno Miranda is being underestimated. We'll talk about him in a second. Carlos Leal versus Sabadou Sai here. Sabadou Sai is just about the worst matchup possible for Carlos Leal. I'm about as big of a Carlos Leal fan as there is, but Carlos Leal is a bull. And when he's not in the China shop, he's not doing the wreck. And Sabadou Sai knows how to dance around this guy. He did it once before. I think if these guys fought 10 times, I think Sabadou Sai is winning 8 or 9 of the times, to be honest with you. I just think this is the type of matchup Carlos Leal isn't going to win. The only way he does is if he somehow catches and puts away Sabadou Sai. And Sabadou Sai's got his style down pat here. So I got Sabadou Sai all day. I'd throw him into a parlay, honestly.
He's been on a roll too, dude. Like, how
we all missed weight. We all missed weight too. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And you're seeing some money come in on Sabadou Sai, so that makes sense as well. And like honestly, I thought about taking him earlier in the week. I wound up staying away from it. I just, the age is the only thing I'd worry about, but we haven't seen any real decline. And the guy's winning fights and winning bets for you at these prices. You got to continue to bet
every single time. He's in perfect shape.
I know, and everyone always says like PFL is the worst thing to bet on. If you've been betting Sabadou Sai like left and right, you've been killing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Sabadou Sai has been very trustworthy for like 8-9 fights now. I mean, again, and I'm the biggest Leo fan you'll meet. Trust me, I was singing his praise all through LFA. Leo's fought at like 5 weight classes at this point. Shows up with the back knee every time in the Bible, like everything you want out of your Brazilian. Just my 2 cents.
Sabadou Sai is on like a crazy winning streak, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, he's been champion like 2 straight years. He was at one point, close to 500. But this is the great thing about MMA. If you really learn from the losses, which Sabadou Sai absolutely has. Sabadou Sai is the wonder boy of PFL. Like when he goes against that lower tier, he just makes him look silly. He's so much more technical. And, Wonder Boy and Caitlin Chukagian got together and had a black Denzel Washington look-alike from Sweden. That's what they did, straight up. So, yeah, I'm not surprised we're on the same side here. Bruno Miranda versus Olivier Mercier. This is a tough one. Honestly, I do like Bruno Miranda a lot. I like where he trains as well with Tiger Muay Thai. I think that on the feet, he could have some really good moments as well. Frustrate the grappling of Olivier. When Olivier isn't able to, get the grappling going, it, can kind of get a little bit shaky in there. I couldn't get there on Bruno. I respect people who did. I'll take Olivier just barely here, but I mean, I'd love to see Bruno come out here and surprise. I've made a lot of money as Bruno as a dog, but couldn't get there here. Better. Do you have any thoughts on Bruno or this fight?
Yeah, I put in OAM. I think he has a grappling advantage. And honestly, if anything, I could just hedge out at the end. It's a parlay. So, I can always do that as well. So,
yep.
He has to use the grappling here, though, I think, to get the job done. And
I think that goes for the main event, too, with Burgos. I think Burgos really has to get the grappling going here. If he turns this into a boxing kind of stand-up scrap the entire way, I think Clay Collard is going to edge this one.
He's live.
He's super live. And I don't really love when Burgos has to fight extremely intelligent with the grappling centric approach. He doesn't really tend to come through with that. I've not been super impressed with Burgos in the PFL yet either.
This is the thing, right?
It's close.
If you bet Burgos in his last fight in the UFC, I believe it was versus Jordan, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
He was fighting in New York City, and I don't think he won that fight by any means. And the judges still gave it to him. So the thing with Burgos is he's super durable. The PFL probably wants him to win because he's an exciting prospect. Even if this isn't a great matchup for him, if he just if he goes all the way to the end, I think he's winning a decision here. I think they're giving it to him, man. That was one of the most egregious decisions I've ever seen. So I think if Burgos makes it to the end,
Clay's been screwed before in the PFL as well. So
I think that's exactly what we see tonight. That's my gut call. I think it's going to be a 29-28, 29-28, and then 28-29 the other way.
Yep.
Hey, we'll see.
Can I ask y'all something? From a casual, don't really understand the PFL, didn't Burgos miss the playoffs or something when his last fight because of the points or whatever? Can y'all explain to me how that works or
It's so stupid, bro.
Yeah, it's he got put in because somebody else missed weight on their last fight, and so they lost the chance because they lost a point for missing weight, I think.
Oh, okay.
They did this with 2 or 3 playoff spots where they didn't get the right guy in, so they just kind of shoved them in anyways. I think that's a spot because of that as well. Oh yeah, Manfio. Because Manfio was fighting Natan Schultz, and they were brothers-in-law, so they didn't actually fight. So
I remember watching that and being
it was the worst fight we watched all year together.
And even the commentators were talking about, this is just a sparring match. You can tell they don't really want to hurt each other. I remember that.
They're godfathers to each other's kids.
Yeah.
That's why I decided to stop making PFL videos by themselves.
It's a little ridiculous, but good breakdown, man.
But honestly, that's going to do it for the breakdown show this week. I want to thank Jewish Bettor. You always got a spot here, man. You just got to tell me when you want to hop on. You're always welcome.
Let's do next week, bro. Let's do. I'm looking forward to next week. So let's do that if that's cool.
I love it. I want people who want to be here. If you don't want to be here, you don't got to be here. I tell that to everybody.
I want to be here, baby.
Everybody from the chat to 2 cents to you. So appreciate it, man. 2 cents. Appreciate you as always. Hope that eventually the vid gets a little better. But what do you got the rest of the week otherwise?
Dude, thank you so much for having me. I say it all the time. This is one of the highlights of my week. This is no exception. JB, shout out to you, my dude. Best of luck. Always great to be on panel with you. Hope it's not the last time. Love that you're interested in next week. So let's fucking go, dude. Shout out to everyone in the chat. And hopefully next week I'm a little less all effed up. And yeah, man, let's fucking go. Best of luck, boys.
Yep. Feel better, bro.
Appreciate you guys. Appreciate the chat. I really should start tweeting this out because when I tweet it out, a lot more people do show up here. So I'll try to do that a little better, but no promises. That's going to do it for the breakdown show this week. Trying to put up Contender Series picks by Sunday night or Monday morning. Put them in the community tabs. I'm not going to be doing videos for those. Shout out to the ones who are doing videos on those. Good for you. And then we'll be back next week with the UFC breakdown. So thank you guys. Bettor, do you have anything to let people know about with you the rest of the week? Or are you all good?
Nah, dude, let's just get this money, man.
Like a little schmutz on your.
Yeah. I know. That's why I had the camera off. I'm fucking starving here, dude. I just smoked a shit ton of weed before this show.
I know how it is. Yeah. Trust me, I've been down in this juice the entire time. That kind of. Anything the rest of the week you wanna shout out, or otherwise we'll talk to you next week.
Jewish Bettor beard oil coming soon.
Can't wait, man. That was a walking endorsement if there ever was one. But appreciate you guys both. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Zach, yes, you are late. The start time is 5 p.m. Eastern, Zach. You better be here at 4:55 next week, or else 2 cents is going to come after you. Right?
Integrity.
Yeah, Zach. And dude, JB, my bougie hipster brother will definitely buy your beard oil. So let me know when you got that shit up. I got a client for you.
Coming soon.
Can't wait. But thank you guys. We'll see you at 5 a.m. for the fights on Saturday. Good luck on your bets tonight. If you got them and you're sick, good luck. I got very little on the PFL, but congratulations to you who are sick out there. All right. See you next week, people. Peace out.